Hello. Hello, hello. I am here. Hello, Jello. I see you in there. Hi. So we're waiting on the game to actually start. There we go. But it is another Saturday, which means we're doing more Rogue Trader. And as you might see from the title, there's gonna be some main questing going on today. I am going to do my fucking best to get to Vheabos VI. We have a kitten. He's demanding attention. As per usual, the instant I sit down, he wants all the attentions. Hello, Jello. How are you? Alright, so, first off, we have an Inquisition shipwreck that we gotta finish. We have level ups to do. We have a couple of things to read. And then... Why are you this way? There we go. Get out of there. Ooh. I dropped quite a bit of frames there for a second. It looks like it's stabilized at this point, though, so we should be good. That was weird. Alright, anyway, first off, level ups. This is very, very important. What? That was weird. Not sure why it shows... I don't know why it was showing Overseer, but okay. Let's see. What should I grab? I could probably get base skill awareness, right? Right? We could just do awareness, maybe? What's per round? Targets their melee attacks. Gross. Missile radius. Suffer minus 20 to weapon and ballistic skill. What does this scale off of? 10 times the number of archetypes chosen by the Navy officer. Oh, okay. Allies with the braced effect are affected. Navy authors. Other non-attacking archetype abilities gain 24% dodge for 1 round. Does not stack. Navy officer and their allies with the braced effect do not provoke attacks. Do not provoke attacks of opportunity. Their primary melee weapon. God damn it. Each round, Fortress World characters gain a stacking plus 1% bonus to dodge against ranged attacks for each shot they make during this round. Ranged burst attacks grant additional gross. I mean, I could do this, right? I mean, perception doesn't really matter to him, I don't think. I don't think anything scales off of perception for him, damage-wise or anything like that, but... Wait, why did this suddenly say 7? What the fuck? So willpower over 3. I think we could just do this one. I think we could just do that one. I don't think that they're... They're using that when stuck solo and have to use my own staffer, so I just... yeah. Another character is the same archetype as this character. Archetype ability used in each combat by this character costs minus 1 AP less. So... This would work for Vanguard, right? I guess Soldier, too, because he's the only soldier that I have in the party as well. So actually, yeah, doing my part would actually be really good. But it's only in each combat. Oh, wait. This is actually really good for him. This is actually really good in general. What's the one? What is this? Fellowship bonus over 2. Its first ability would cost 1 less. Yeah. Like, I could just, like, do fucking, like, defensive stance, and it would be free, right? It is only for 1 round. But I do tend to target him with abilities pretty consistently. I give him a lot of extra turns. Yeah, I think this is still fine, even though his fellowship is garbage. Oh, wait. Fellowship over what? Over 2. What? Hold up. How is... So 42 would give me a +4, right? For the bonus. How is 4 divided by 2 1? Game, I feel like your fucking math is wrong. I still think this is fine because, like, in his first round, he's gonna have like a plus. I wish I could see what. Okay, so his resolve is 6, so I would have like a +4 to somewhere between 4 and 6. It's 37 over 2, maybe. Oh, it showed 42. All right, so level up window is notoriously inconsistent about showing what your number is with any active buffs, even the ones you always have. Yeah. I don't care about that. I'm stun, I'm a laser pro if it don't care. Oh, we can take another stronger together. I don't have stronger together yet on her. Ooh, that's actually... All right, let's see what else we have here. Force weapon, don't care. It's not on the target, don't care. Psychic phenomena or perils of the warp. First time each turret, Psyker's next psychic power costs 1 less action point. This could be good. This is a damaging psychic power on targets that are 6 cells or farther from them. They suffer an additional +2 damage, which scales off of ballistic skill. Yeah, okay. Damaging psychic power will be threatened by enemies in melee without provoking attacks of opportunity. Non-damaging ones don't do that even with it. Okay. Every Perils of the Warp increases momentum by 19, which stacks off of willpower plus resolve plus psi rating. This could be really good. Oh. This is incredibly strong for her. This is way OP for... Oh, I didn't realize I didn't have this yet. 40%, 48% additional armor against fire. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have a whole bunch of stuff that does, like, fire damage and stuff. Yeah. I don't really care about any of that. Do I want to take this? Wait. Do I want to take this now? No, they're basically free anyway. We could take this later. We don't need to take that now. Gains temporary wounds? No. Targets only the target with corpus conversion will work as the psychic rating is too higher, will not degrade the veil, will not trigger psychic phenomena or perils of the warp, and will remove 1 stack of corpus conversion from the target. Whenever an effect applied by the psychic increases the damage suffered by the target. Their heals themselves or another character. Wait, oops. Can critically heal with a chance of 23%. Deals damage to gain +1 of Sanguine Siphon. Target adjacent, they gain 2. When the Psyker suffers lethal damage, the stacks of Sanguine Siphon are removed to reduce this damage by 1 for each attack. Or for each stack. Either all stacks are removed or the damage is no longer lethal. So the only time that she ever really dies is when she explodes herself. And I don't think that that's something that you could reduce the damage of. Also, the fact that we got the crippled arm is probably the best thing for her because we never use her ballistic or weapon skills, so that's actually really... When the Psyker's allies or the Psyker themselves are the effects of psychic powers, they get +5 toughness for each sut. That's also really good. I could just give 5 willpower as well. All right, where was the first one? It was Backdraft. That was it. So willpower will get me to 100. It'll get me to a flat 100 willpower. Backdraft is just so much extra damage, though. I think we have to take Backdraft. I think that's the best thing that we can do here. Like, by far. Let's do this and this as well. Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing for her. Coordinate, we want to get strength up. Alright, what do we want to do with her? Wait. Wait, where's it at? Where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Wait, where's Eldari? Guess it would be up here, right? Ah. Okay, so I would need at least one, like, bonus to Lore Xenos to take Eldari weapon proficiency. Reason I was thinking about doing that is because Eldari weapons can take dex to, or agility to damage instead of strength. Yeah. Or the talent for a skill bonus. Oh, I guess I could just do that right now, right? We could just do this. Wait, +7? I thought this was a +10. Drakari weapons also tend to have a poison as an extra effect on them. Ah. But yeah, wait, isn't this... But that would mean that all of these... I could swap this strength bonus to toughness, but that would mean that all of these are wasted at that point. +7 because the next one is +13 and a free reroll. I thought it was a +10, just in general. Two plus agility bonus, more damage to enemies if both. Yeah, and their targets stand in the blood-covered cells. But that specifically says the allies do, not the assassin itself. I'm just gonna take Crimson Tide. I don't know. Basically, really just there. stepping stone either to get to the advanced or to qualify for another unlock. Oh. Didn't I get a base skill somewhere? Oh, I think I was getting the characteristic trading. Hmm. I mean, if we're doing this... Oh, it's another fucking feat that you have to take. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Wait. Are we sure that there's another level to the skills? Because I'm not seeing any. I'm taking logic here because she's like the highest logic character that we have. And we need to buff that up. It's advanced skill. But like, there isn't anything. Like, there's literally not a thing here. That's what I'm saying, is like, there's no skill or talent or whatever you want to call it here. Because like a lot of these would skill bonus talents at 2 levels. I'll trust. Like I trust you. I'm just like, I find it strange that that's just not available here. Yeah, we'll take that here, and then as soon as I can, I'll get the next one. Okay. Enemy is damaged by the navigator, suffer an additional 8 damage from all attacks of opportunity and cannot dodge them. Any navigator power enemies have their armor reduced by 13. 5 plus the navigator's willpower, plus the devastating parameter of the navigator's staff. but does not stack. Allies gain +5 to all resistance tense against warp effects caused by demons, psychic power, blah, 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 blah. Until the end of combat, stacks with every applied ability. What is her... Yeah, that's fine. What is her... What abilities do I have that, like... Yeah, we have this. That. But this specifies... the navigator's abilities. But it doesn't specify that the abilities have to be specifically navigator abilities. It just has to be cast by the navigator. So even if it's something from Master Tactician or whatever the fuck, it would still work with this ability. The way that this is written. All right. Allies that are targeted by the navigator's power gain 10% armor. Additional armor is reduced by the amount of veil degradation, increased by the infusing parameter of the currently equipped navigator staff. That is correct. I do not like this one because I am constantly boosting the veil degradation with what's her face. Navigator's origin abilities, if it was just navigator stuff, yeah. All right, so we could just grab fellowship. Nimble is also really... Here, let me just do these. Let me just do this. Let's do this. Fellowship, agility. What is her I guess commerce? But I feel like Jai just beats her in commerce, right? No. Even without the ability, Jai does not beat her in commerce. Interesting. I mean, I guess technically they're both 120 because, you know, you just truncate the last thing. But interesting. Okay. I think I'm going to take this one for now. Eventually beats everyone in almost every skill. Yeah. That's kind of what I've come to the conclusion of. Okay, now we have two things to read. Skill monkey characters, so you could use her as an alternative to the companion that is actually good at the skill. Yeah. Info. Voidsman, by the grace of the Emperor, you have been given the honor of serving on a black ship of the Inquisition. You've been entrusted with unique cargo. Of course, as soon as I start reading, I start yawning. Psychers, collected from the Imperium's worlds as their rightly owed tithe. Do not be deceived by their appearance. Every one of them is a dangerous mutant. Be strict with the passengers, for that is how you safeguard the lives of yourself and your comrades. You must be blind to tears and deaf to pleas. Listen to the passengers' conversations and report any groupings that form among them to the ship's confessor. Any groups will be split into different holds to prevent a coordinated revolt. Check for certain that the passengers are eating all of their rations. They contain tranquilizers intended to ensure your and your comrades' safety. Pay attention to any strange occurrences. Psych or corruption comes in many forms. Passengers that exhibit extraordinary abilities must be transferred to reinforced cells for solitary confinement. Do not engage in conversation with the passengers. Do not refer to them by name. Do not give them your possessions. Do not allow them to lose their fear of you. Their fear is the key to your survival. Appear before the ship's confessor every month to have the purity of your thoughts checked. Remember that blasphemous psychers can play with the minds of real people. Keep the faith and follow these rules. Failure to observe any of them will be grounds for dismissal. And dismissal in this universe usually means we kill you. The ship's log is encrypted, but the last entry was written in Gothic. I, Inquisitor Uton Hall, captain of the black ship Monarchia's Bane, write this record for the eyes of any faithful servant of the Emperor who may chance to read it. My vessel dutifully departed Terra to collect the Imperium's rightful tithes from its loyal worlds, and then to return to Segmentum Solar with thousands of psychers in our holds. Our mission was proceeding smoothly, but shortly after our warp jump, an incident occurred. The main confinement cell was the source of the insurrection. It was the holding site for an especially dangerous passenger who possessed high psychic potential and was known to incite disobedience in others. I do not know how he was able to free himself or how he summoned the forces of chaos to abet him. His psychic outbursts spread rapidly across the entire vessel, sending other passengers into a frenzy and causing them to attack my acolytes. I have given the order for the passenger holds to be purged and activated the automatic intruder elimination systems, but I have no doubt that this measure will be unsuccessful. Not wishing to surrender the Monarchia's Bane into the hands of these deranged mutants, I have set course to orbit a planet nearby at a slight deviation. Sooner or later, the deviation will result in the ship drifting out of orbit and crashing onto the planet's surface. Keep the faith and exterminate any mercy in your soul. Oh, that sounds fun. All right. Go down. Interesting. Before we do that, though, I want to run back here. Because we did just get another key card. And I am curious. Yes! Hell yeah. Maybe our Tempestus character. Okay, so let's 60%. One less armor deflection. +2 deflection against ranged attacks versus area attacks. And I lose 7 fellowship, which he doesn't really care about. And I regain 5 dodge. And I think deflection against range is better than is actually a lot better than deflection against area attacks. Because the overwhelming majority of enemies are using ranged weapons. So I think that this armor is actually like a straight up upgrade for him. Nice. All right. Back, I say. Let's go. Oh, wait. Oh, nice. It's just a shortcut back to the entrance. Hell yeah. Well, we're done here. Nice. Hell yeah. Lord Captain, this is Voxmaster Vheabos VI. Yeah. I hope your heroic expedition was a success. What will be your further instructions? The machine spirit of this vessel is dead and defiled. It should be sent to the Omnisci in a proper nuclear funeral rite. Man, I need the heretical points. Set out the technicians to strip the vessel of anything valuable and make sure they keep quiet about anything they're about to see. It will be done, Lord Captain. I'll inform the ship's steward about the need to provide a secure storage space for your discoveries, as well as an armed squad of discreet and well-trained wardens to protect them. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, that was literally the first planet that we fucking checked in this system. Last Steel 7. We have 16. That's actually a really good one. I'll take that one. The augurs have detected the remnants of an ancient mining ship that crashed on the planet. It looks like it was carrying equipment and settlers to a new mining site. Searching the ship might prove useful, but it carries certain risks. Conduct a search. The search team was able to retrieve the last surviving extractium from under the debris. They suffered no losses and returned to the ship triumphant. Hell yeah. We just regained the extractium that we spent. Hell yeah. Oh, this looks like a pretty planet. That's fucking useless. All right. We welcome your lordship to Harriox Rim, our humble trading station. I am Steward Pontius Lockton, here to offer our highborn guests only the finest wares and special ship modules. Trading station? Pull the other one. Everyone in the Expanse knows that this is the pirate den where they peddle the stolen plunder, but to be fair, they never touch the customers, which is probably why they're still alive. Our captain, the ship's cannons are fully primed, the station is well fortified, and its inhabitants will probably attempt to fight back, but we are stronger. Do you command we attack this hotbed of genetic aberration? What rumors have been flying around lately? Sambled, rampaging pirates, nefarious smugglers, Zetos preying on lone ships. The valiant Imperial Navy alone fights them all, and we thank the God Emperor that we can enjoy its protection. There is a rumor about a lone Adeptus Mechanicus ship, an ancient hulk that is reported to appear in one system or the other, only to vanish the next day. Who knows why it broke away from the explorer fleet, or what secrets it may hold, but this is just a tall tale, unworthy of your lordship's ears. Wish to upgrade the vessel's weapons. Perhaps you might be interested in macro cannons? Medium range dorsal macro cannons, which fire 3 shots, dealing 14 damage per shot. Hits the enemy's ship's hull and has a 50% chance to start internal fires. Oh, I was like, 14 damage seems really low. It's usually like 21 right now, right? I need to have a profit factor greater to or equal to 1. Greater than or equal to 1. That's funny. Yeah, you have a deal. I require a more powerful engine. 12 speed along with strong acceleration and low braking. Additionally grants 3 additional void movement points when... deal. This is Terry Von Valencia, surrender with a value. Wait. Ravor, do you have any tactical recommendations? Advise a decisive approach strategy. The station is well prepared for a long-range artillery duel. Rumor has it they traded with the Explorators for improved macro cannon boosters and warheads whose spirits can adjust the flight of missiles. In a short-range battle, their guns will be less dangerous. Terry Von Valencia, surrender without a fight. Mutants come, and I will grant you a swift death. Emperor have mercy. What mutants? We're but a bunch of voidsmen, a collective of harmless traitors. I urge you to leave station orbit, or we'll be forced to defend ourselves. I'll not fall for the heretic's deception. Wait, how can you prove the station has not been infested with genetic aberrations? I humbly apologize for my impertinence, but the burden of proof lies on the accuser. Whatever crimes may be attributed to us, they do not include aberrant mutations, and I must warn you that we will not go down without a fight. A mutant, one of you, revealed your hideout's existence. But this heretic of yours slandered us from head to toe. Whatever possesses your lordship should trust the word of a mutant. Their thoughts are as unclean and disgusting as their bodies. I will not fall for the heretic's deception. It's time to die. Ooh. All right. I was actually not expecting a, like, ship boss fight. Oh shit, I blew up my own fucking... No, I blew up my own fucking torpedoes, son of a bitch.
Lock on and launch. Send our enemies to the void.
Are these? Ah, these are plasma. That's why I can't swap them. Got it. For whatever reason, the no way. Wait. No way this motherfucker lived on 3. Damn. All right. And then I will jump forward. Dude, I'm so tired of these motherfuckers living on nothing. Wait, this? All right. Fine. All right. Nice. I had a feeling that they were gonna that they were gonna destroy that one for me. Oh, they blew up my other fucking missiles. God damn it.
Rain destruction upon our enemies.
All right.
I want to hear the macro cannons roar.
Wait, what the fuck? Target has to be under the sacrificial transfusion portal to the abyss effect. I beg to differ. And so this one's probably gonna die this turn. I'm hoping I could send all 3 of my fucking torpedoes into the control tower. That would be great. Oh shit, I have to keep moving. All right, then I guess we go here. Beautiful. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. All right.
Bring doom to our enemies. Unleash the power of our lance batteries.
Oh, there we go. Hell yeah. Oh, we got a level. Nice. What do we do with this level? Lord Captain, their resistance is broken and the cleanup parties are landing on Harryock's Rim. What are your immediate orders? Imperial Navy. Fellowship of the Void. Security plus 15 is kind of crazy. Security plus 15 and profit factor 1. That's kind of crazy. Oh, so we were lied to. Oh, shit, never mind. Crew knocked out a suspicious bulkhead and found an entire mutant lair behind it. Use sleeping bags, primitive weapons, a decrepit Vox station, and almost no record of future planned actions. Their previous foe posed a greater threat than this. Next, we look for stuff. Nice. Well, got some actual items, got some cargo. Hell yeah. All right. I kind of want to do this one. Ariox Rim remains a valuable trade hub. We will continue to do business with pirates. From now on, the station is mine. Your lordship truly knows how to make friends and maximize profits. I am sure the Fellowship of the Void will be delighted to know that you are the new master of the station. Damn right they will. If they don't, I don't care. Alright, what is this new stuff that we got? So, 90% and 20% crit chance. So I lose 5% hit and 10% crit, but I gain 15% evasion. Huh. Is the offensive loss worth the defensive gain? Probably. Yeah, we'll do that. That seems fine. What was the other one? This one? Disruption Plasma Arsenal. Ionic Blast be fired for plasma macro cannons. Ionic Blast never score critical hits. Well, that actually combos quite well with the lack of the drop in critical hit chance. Ah. Increased by 20%. Let me see what development I can do. Hello? There we go. Oh, yeah, flagship shuts down non-essential starts to drip unnoticed past enemy ships. Most encounters larger enemy vessels, predicting larger, surprise and act later. Ooh, that could be useful. That could actually be really good. When using post abilities, there's a 20% chance its cooldown will be 1 round shorter. Also be really good. 10% more scrap. As the use of both abilities and one selected post for 1 turn. If one or both abilities are on cooldown, their cooldown time is reduced by 1. This seems really good. Yeah, so we're going to do that. Oh, it's just 2 separate things. Okay. I feel like this is also really good. Because obviously frigates and larger, they are the most dangerous people. So if I can potentially take one out before they even move, I'm okay with that. All right, well, that's it for this place. Oh, that's the Eldari cache. Eldari cache. Wait, is there really no way to get from here to up here? Really? Okay. So where would I have to go to get a... Here... 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 I could also just jump straight there. Burn another 5, make it unsafe. And then just go. How many question marks do I still have? So we got 1, 2. This is a main one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't actually have that many. Open up when the MSQ said you there. Otherwise, just make a path for it. What, these 3 here? I did say I was gonna, like... I kind of want to clear out one of these 2. If not both of them. Warp journey, something, nothing happened. So when you say the top 3, you're talking about the one that has the Eldari cache? This location for main story after Vheabos is done. Gotcha. Well, it seems like there's a whole lot of fucking nothing here. Lord Captain, the augurs cannot determine who the ship we approach belongs to, but the telemetry clearly reveals it is an Imperium vessel. The hull is badly damaged, but there is air in some of the chambers. Which means they are hermetically sealed. What are your orders concerning the discovery? Prepare my troops for boarding. I'll personally take part in the exploratory expedition. Ah, it's a storybook. Okay. We who walked down the same passageways to the same bays day after day, we who are born... so let's have a tale about the Lord Captain. By the will of the Emperor, the Guardian and Commander of the ever good... Oh my god, stop. Just speak normally. Like a dead whale cast ashore by the inexorable force of the swell, the wrecked vessel was confronted... Oh my god, I can't read. Was a confronting sight for its unwitting visitors. Some bays still retained an atmosphere, but there was no life anywhere. The ship was dead. Its machine spirits dissipated in the darkness of space. It was just the husk left, and the rogue trader's crew were to become scavengers, swarming the carcass of a fallen Leviathan. Our captain oversaw the expedition personally. He decided to train the penetrating gaze of the augur arrays on the damaged ship. The augur's keen eye scanned the eerie vessel, identifying that the void ship was gravely damaged and was in the process of final erosion. There was very little time to explore it. 3 sectors seemed the least damaged: the bridge, the middle crew deck, and the service bay. After exchanging a series of trills and warbles in their mysterious and ancient language, the tech priests responsible for the augurs reported to the Lord Captain that they had glimpsed signs of valuable components in operation in the service bay. The North... we might as well, right? Have a dear, it's less. Feel out of course. With hostile eyes upon her, Adira sank into the trance. When she resurfaced, she reported that the ship had been a victim of the warp. The bridge had suffered worst of all. It was the section that provoked the greatest anxiety and trepidation in the Psyker. Service Bay was the least damaged section, though Adira spoke of it with no particular interest. Which of the 3 teams he would lead, and which 2 would be entrusted to their officers. Let here be known the names of those honest people who stood before the rogue trader in that moment. Taster engraved Young's Ho's son, whose word was as firm as his handshake. Captain Vesti, whose jokes will be remembered by everyone on decks 3 to 5s. Captain Matina, the senior officer of the 3rd unit, known as to many as Grey Matina. She had been leading units back with a current crop of scouts were snot-nosed kids. No one on deck was in any doubt that navigating inside the wreck ship would be difficult. Units would be separated by kilometers of twisted metal, dead modules devoid of atmosphere, collapsed passageways, and hull breaches the size of a house. The only thing connecting the brave teams would be the delicate thread of a Vox link. And so, after weighing up the options, the Lord Captain chose to go with the bridge. That was the most dangerous section, so that would be the one that I would want to go to, right? Let me check the history real quick, though, because I can't remember. Service Bay. So there's important stuff in the Service Bay. But the bridge is most dangerous. I'll go with the Service Bay. From here on, we will relate the events based on what we learned from the witnesses, the people who accompanied the Lord Captain on the tour of the Dread Ship. The shuttles started up one after another and dispersed, each heading to a selected target. An hour spent on cutting through the hull in the freezing vacuum of space, a fussy boarding, and then finally the rogue trader stepped out onto the cold, dark deck of the dead ship. The light of the torches revealed a sign in the gloom, Fireborn. After a minute-long exchange with the Vox Master, who quickly checked the archives, it was established that the dead vessel was that of Captain Nova Van Dane, registered at Kiavagama Port. Grey Matina said a prayer appropriate to the situation, and then she looked expectantly at the Lord Captain, waiting for orders. Yeah, knowing the typical layout of service space, Lord Captain directed the scouts to where the valuable components could be found. From here on, oh, that's just a repeat. Lord Captain's assessment proved correct. After a thorough search, as all searches conducted by Grey Matina were, the scouts found undamaged components and marked them for later dismantling. Sound crackled from the Vox speakers, and a light on the casing switched on, signaling a message coming in on the first unit's frequency. Commander Young Ho-son calmly reported that the unit was making satisfactory progress toward the ship's bridge. This was followed by a message from the second unit, which was on the crew deck. The Vox speakers crackled, preparing to connect with the unit's commander, Captain Vesti. The words that came through sounded muffled, as though the person on the other end wasn't speaking directly into the Vox, but accidentally pressing the transmit button while occupied with something else. Never seen anything like it. It's beautiful. Hold on, wait. Is it moving? Pale-faced Captain Matina barked out a stream of orders, telling the units to close ranks around the rogue trader and prepare for trouble, but then the yelling from the Vox turned to laughter. I got you, old girl. Moved a voice from the speaker. He belonged to Captain Vesti, the commander of the unit exploring the middle deck. Don't panic, we're all good here. Not a thing to report. I hope where you are is just as uneventful. White with anger, Matina turned to the rogue trader. Captain Vesti has a unique sense of humor. I strongly suggest that your lordship take him in hand. Lord Captain diffused the conflict brewing between the two commanders and requested a report from the Captain Vesti on his unit's progress. Reported that his unit's foray had so far proceeded without incident, mystical or otherwise. They had found no survivors from the ship's crew, or bodies for that matter. However, the unit had encountered a problem. The passage leading to the deck section with the arsenal and storage depot was seriously damaged, especially the power cables. Proceeding further could be dangerous. After consulting his officer, the Lord Captain issued new orders for Vesti's unit. His unit headed off to carry out their orders, while the rogue trader and his team continued on. Fortune smiled on the unit this time. Grey Matina, having trusted her instinct and experience, chose to return to the shuttle via an alternate route. In one of the dark branching passageways, the team discovered a modest but untouched trove of cargo from Kiala Gamma. The voice of Young Hosun reached the Lord Captain's ears once again. The first unit's captain soberly reported that his people were proceeding to the bridge. The ensuing deathly silence alerted the Lord Captain that something was wrong. Following the gazes of his team, he saw that the unit's dispatcher, who was carrying a large Voxcaster with the antenna and transmitter, was lagging far beyond the rest of the group. And the transmission indicator was dark. There was no incoming messages. Even if there had been, Sun's voice couldn't have sounded so close, as if the dispatcher, or Sun himself, were standing right next to the rogue trader. Sun here, Unit 1 proceeding to the bridge, said the voice again. Now it seemed to be coming from all sides, drawing in from the left and right, from under the deck, and even from somewhere among the mess of cables overhead. Summoned up all his willpower to resist the illusion. Lord Captain managed not only to maintain his self-control, but also to keep the terrified unit from veering into outright panic. Led by the rogue trader, the scouts hurriedly retreated to the shuttle, pursued by their comrade's disembodied voice, which continued to repeat the same brief message. After returning to the shuttle, Terry received reports about the Fireboard's status. The tech priest, who relentlessly pierced the wreckage with the augur's gaze, insisted on curtailing the operation as soon as possible, fearing imminent destruction. There were also reports from the other two units. The second unit had succeeded in moving through the danger zone and returned to the shuttle with a valuable payload taken from the dead ship's stores. Augurs and the Vox system proved equally useless. The first unit, which had been exploring the bridge, had vanished without a trace, almost as if the dead ship had swallowed them whole. The scouts and their commander, Young Sun, had simply disappeared, joining the thousands of crew members lost aboard the Fireboard. The units assembled at the shuttles, and the Lord Captain gave the final order of this grim expedition. Fire upon the cursed ship from the long-range weapons batteries. After returning to the bridge of the ship, the rogue trader cast a final glance at the endless blackness in the shell of the Fireborn that lurked within it. In that moment, the ship's weapons batteries roared into life, lighting up the darkness with a barrage of fire. And the sad, cursed vessel was soon turned into a brilliant mass of molten metal and plasma. For that which was born in fire should also perish in fire. Hooray, we did it! The giant rings on this planet's surface can be absorbed even from orbit. Examine. It has emerged that this planet has a native species of giant insects similar to Terran ants. Just like ants, they sometimes form so-called death spirals, in which one creature follows another without realizing they're going in circles. These were the rings discovered by the ship's observers. The strange phenomenon that was originally suspected to be a sign of warp activity or a nefarious xenostructure turned out to be a quirk of nature, and a tragic one at that. Well, interesting, but doesn't really do anything for us. Oh man, should I get 3 provisions? I don't know. I'm unsure if my 34 provisions would last. That's crazy. The augurs have detected wreckage in the void ship's vicinity, but the exact nature of the wreckage remains unclear. Okay, it's just bye. Nothing happened. I'm so happy nothing happened. Oh, hey, look, nothing happened again. I love when nothing happens. It's so nice. It's so nice when nothing happens. Enemies of humanity? We will deal with them momentarily. Phloxen 2. We are very low on Phloxen, so I will do that. And I just don't find it very often either. Nothing. It's Water World. Promethium. I have 24. I don't need any more. Oh, that's a big chunk though. I think this is fine. I think it's fine to grab one that's worth 6. According to the ancient chronicles and maps handed to you by the Pilgrim, this icy planet used to be a prosperous imperial colony. However, a sharp change in its trajectory, brought upon by the warp anomaly raging in the system, caused the world to distance itself from the local star. In less than a decade, the planet's surface was completely encased in ice, sealing a wealth of machines and artifacts of the Imperium inside a glacial tomb. Scan the planet. Looks like the Pilgrim's records are true. Your augurs managed to locate the shapes of several Imperial buildings under layers of snow and ice, though one can only guess what purpose they used to serve. To a plan, we are going to terraform. Couldn't think of the name, the word for a second. We're going to terraform this bitch. After deliberating, the senior officers unanimously decided that only the Adeptus Mechanicus possessed the technology required for a project of such a massive scale. Rogue traders should contact their representatives in the Cronus Expanse and secure future cooperation. Well, fine. I guess I will. Nothing here. I'm actually shocked that I wasn't thrown into combat. A wave of angry whispers passes over the bridge as the archenemy's minions trade their weapons on you and prepare to attack. Evade their approach and flee? Nah, fuck that noise. Death to the heretics! For the Emperor! Filthy Xenos. Infidel class. That's funny. Ooh, you got a decent chunk of health there, buddy. But not anymore. Wait, is it literally just the 2? No way, it's just the 2. Ah, there's the big one. Nice. Wait, what? How are you still alive? Excuse me? Oh my god. Okay. I was like, what's happening here? Like, why am I still in combat? I was so confused. I was like, are you really gonna make me chase out these fucking torpedoes? Please tell me that. I was so confused. All right, so now we could go back. All right, so we could just get this down to unsafe and we're fine here. All right. We will get this down to unsafe. Travel here. During the vote, dispose of the newly emergent prophet and ban. Wait. During the warp voyage, the middle decks reported strange gatherings that were attracting dozens of officers. An investigation quickly bore fruit. One of the acolytes from the augur deck had proclaimed himself a prophet. He was rambling about purification by blessed fire. Only the perilous influence of the warp could explain the strange convictions and uncanny zeal of this person. Put the cult under surveillance. Spies reported that the cult gatherings were hardly worth investigating. They were nothing but long conversations punctuated by people searing their palms over an open flame. The surveillance was maintained until the end of the warp journey, after which the newly born prophet simply forgot about his calling, stopped giving sermons, and dismissed his congregation. Hell yeah. Hooray! We didn't kill a whole bunch of people for no reason. Yay! We love that. Alright, nothing happened. Once again, we love when nothing happens. We did it. We got here. Imagine one of my streams actually getting to the fucking area that I say we're going to get to. Lord Captain, we have cross-referenced the key characteristics of the system with our astronautical chart data. Planet Vheabos VI is located here. The problem is the augurs detect an unusual change in the atmosphere, not unlike a massive release of toxins. It appears that something unfortunate has happened to the planet's underground storage facilities. It is impossible to land safely on the planet just now. Unknown ships are cruising the system. No need for any cog to analyze it. I can decipher this telemetry easily. Xenos. The armory and artillery crews are standing by. First, we must scan the planets. Nice. Just a bunch of crap. Some would, you know, some say that you need to hack the planets, but I prefer to scan them instead. Oh, what we got? This planet can barely sustain life, and yet search has discovered a long-lost Imperial colony, one that was cut off from the rest of the galaxy centuries ago. The colonists live in conditions worse than any underhive, yet they still venerate the Emperor and gladly welcome their visitors. The Lord Captain receives an invitation from the local ruler, the Archqueen Princeps Domina. Yeah. The ruler meets the Lord Captain in a shack, considered to be a palace by the people here. Thank you, succeeded. The Archqueen's unusual crown is made out of metal coils, most likely parts of an ancient device for boiling water. The guests are served the finest delicacies the colony can provide. The Archqueen praises the visitors in mangled low Gothic and calls the Lord Captain her dear brother. At the end of the audience, gifts are presented to the guests. The Archqueen's minister delicately remarks that the best possible gift the Lord Captain and his crew could provide would be the replenishment of the colony's meager gene pool. No, we'll send him some people. Hello? The Archqueen is delighted and flattered. She hopes the Lord Captain will pay her more visits in the future. Hooray! We made friends. Also, for a second, I wasn't able to use spacebar to gather all there for some reason. I don't know what the deal was. Like, you know, collect all space. You know, you're supposed to be able to hit space button and it collects all. Was not able to do that. All right. I'm gonna fuck up some Drakari. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, so we got Last Hatred. Was this?
Set course with all haste. Bring doom to our enemies.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Holy shit. Oh, nice. I can't remember, but that one ship of mine, that one took some damage. Oh, actually, can I upgrade? What does this take? 605? We're getting there. Obviously, we were closer before, but we're getting there. I literally never use this. I literally never use this, so I'm not going to bother upgrading this. Guys, we got here. Swift and merciless retribution is a proper fate for many transgressors, but the Imperium permits using the convicts for hard labor on distant prison worlds like Vheabos VI to atone for their crimes before humankind. Hundreds of thousands of rogues and lowlives toil in the mines of the Von Valancius Protectorate under death from exhaustion, until death from exhaustion or some other unfortunate accident claims their forsaken souls. Yeah. Alright, so this place has been poisoned. Know that much.
Six always was a penal world. But this, even the miscreants of this place do not deserve such a fate.
His body is frozen in an unnatural pose. The corpse's fingers are crooked. His teeth are bared in a ghastly grimace. Such for him, but we got loot. Hell yeah. Man clawed at his throat right before he died. Broken, slashed, and gutted body is still covered with the shreds of a planetary warden uniform. Eyes been twisted into a pose resembling a servile bow. And bound with barbed wire. Jesus. Clearly see several thin cuts left by bladed weapons on the body. Is this supposed to scare me? The tall lion Xenos. Ah, she's just an Eldari. Moves with the grace of an otherworldly predator. The creature gives you a dispassionate glance and casually speaks a few words that are immediately picked up by your elucidator. Mechanus Aelith, what is this? Has one of the sisters found an amusing trinket in the ruins and saved it as a special treat for the Archon? Xenos takes a quick look over his shoulder toward the platform, where a few more silhouettes in tar black armor can be seen. It seems it is I who is in for a treat. I cannot even begin to fathom where my subjects found such an exotic beast. For the longest time, it wouldn't give you line of sight to the top level in the back, so it'd just be people speaking from the darkness. That's actually kind of cool, though. Monkey understands my speech. Where did you come by a device that can translate our language? Are you trying to impress me by appearing useful? Such words will earn you a bout in the ring at most, without weapons and soon without your skin. If I had been the one holding a device, she and I would have had words. I'd make sure this stuck-up bitch do exactly what I think of her. Oh, don't worry, Idira. You will have your opportunity. Demons scattered around you on the platform stare as if they've seen a ghost. The eyes of some betray their fear, others glare with bestial hatred, and yet more look upon you with hope. Who are you? My name is known to everyone on this planet, Monkey. I am Tazara the Deliverer, Tazara the Benevolent, the one who grants respite from the choking grasp of this world. I decide who lives, who dies, and who finds new purpose for their existence in the Kamarach many arenas. Surely this is why you have come here, to fight for my ever-changing favor and for the privilege of being the first to be chained? I am a rogue trader, the Emperor's anointed, guardian of humanity, and your doom, Xenos scum. What passion, what a naive arrogance. When all this turns into boundless despair and clinging terror, my guests and I will savor such exquisite pleasure. I would play with you myself, Monkey, but then the performance would be brief, and we don't want to upset my guests now, do we? From the dusk behind Tazara comes a cry. The distance between you and the Xenos is too great for the elucidator to interpret the words, but the tone alone speaks of irritation and impatience. Tell the other monkey that whoever slits your throat will depart for their new home ahead of schedule, and tell them to hold nothing back. Tonight they dance for Uranus herself, the great Archon of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest. Do you truly wish to die at the Xenos' behest? If we join forces now, we can end this senseless carnage once and for all. Exhausted, defeated faces trade worried glances. The hulking brute next to you hesitates and spits and breaks into a grin. We're gonna die anyway. Might as well do it without the heretic's brand. Slay the beasts! Zara emits a furious scream and takes a step back, signaling to her companions. Nice. You've been ambushed? Oh no! Whatever shall we do? Cowards. Cowards! It hit everybody but Abelard. Okay, now I could do this. That's fine.
That is not my destiny.
Oh. Dude, this is so broken. They just leave their people to die. Is anybody actually taking damage? Oh no, because everybody has a shit ton of temporary health.
Tell me and it is done.
How'd you get up there? What the fuck? All right. Anyway, then we do this. Then we do this, 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 this. What does this one do again? 50% more damage, also deals additional damage equal to 25% of the target. Yeah.
Power resides in the will of the righteous. Hold on.
I'll show you the real pain.
The shadows will see it.
Surviving fighters turn their head towards you one after another. All allies on the battlefield are glued to you. Those who fought with me, get to the shuttle. As soon as we are away from here, I will give orders for the immediate evacuation for the remaining survivors. Hell yeah. Hello. Oh, these are all Drakari weapons, though. I don't have anybody that can use any of this shit. Ah. Oh, cool. Alright. Let's see what else is going on here. Body was partially flayed, and judging by the amount of blood, the victim was still alive when it... Yeah. Man died clutching his intestines and they spilled from his leg. Yeah. Body's missing parts of its extremities. It was hacked to pieces with dozens of... Jesus Christ. Looks like the Xenos gave up on this world after you spoiled their fun.
Shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Actually kind of sucks. Hunter carapace. 10% of armor. Plus 10% armor if the wearer is in partial cover. Medium. Do I have anybody that's wearing medium? It's just gonna be worse. So this would be better. This is worse naturally, but it's better if she's in partial cover, which she tends to be. Oh yeah. All right, so that's just it. That's all there is to this place. You just come in, you do one fight, and you scare off the Xenos. That actually kind of sucks. That's everything. Yep. Claimed all the colonies. We did it. These new convicts, various dangerous literates and idle thinkers could supplement the workforce. Jesus. Quarries can be filled with prisoners taken from foreign worlds. Purchasing foreign criminals is a potential solution to this problem. We can do this one. Like, this one gives me complacency, which is, like, really good. Oh, and it's for all colonies. But... that's just a really stupid thing to do. We're going to do this one. Well, security greater than or equal to 4. Oh, okay. I could have gotten 1 security by doing that, but I didn't know that I needed it, so it's not exactly something that I could have foreseen. We're still... yeah, so we're still missing 1 here. I need 10 more heretical points. But yeah, that's it. We're done with Vheabos. We have Vheabos 6. Hooray, we did it. Raid leaders evaded capture. Information about the pillaging of Vheabos 6 has already been sent to the Ashby Choir to Dargonus. The responsibility takes us. Okay. So now we fuck around for a bit. Or it went smoothly. Oh, wait. Smoothly enough. Eliminating crew members. Oh, yeah. It's just like people. Oh, my God. I saw a ghost. All right. Plasteel 7. So we're back up to... we have 26 plasteel. I'm not even worrying about it anymore. Like, I do not give a single fuck about plasteel. What did I just say? What do we got? A small planet, gently wrapped in amber forest, greets you with greets you with a ruby-colored dawn. Basil von dem Clearch, the local governor, gives the rogue trader a warm welcome. After several glasses of Damascene, the sweltering ruler asks if Terry von Valencias would like to keep company during the upcoming hunt. Sure, fuck it, why not? After several hours of riding the local peculiar animals, you make a camp in the middle of a golden forest. Basil points at the sky. A flat disk rises over the horizon, constantly morphing its color and shape. The forest grows silent and empty, but you can no longer hear the singing of birds or even the rustle of wind. The governor nods with satisfaction as few shapes step into the clearing. Their bodies are twisted by an unknown phenomenon. and you watch the freaks with astonishment as they begin to dance into the throaty cackling of their brethren, turning the bony growths and pulsating flesh in their scaly hands towards the unnatural thing in the sky. What the fuck? Smiles coyly. You're about to see with your own eyes what is happening here. Watch in silence. Hypnotic dance seems to continue forever. The unfortunate creatures howled, whined, and convulsed, unable to tear their bleeding eyes from the celestial body. When the Pavonine disc outshone even the light of the local star, the physical shells of the things that used to be men burst, releasing beasts into this plane that not even the most fluid and capable being could describe. What the fuck? Basil excitedly explains that the creatures you saw are the children of the great king of distortion. It is he who is the true god and patron of these fertile grounds. Once every cycle, his chariot shines its light upon the world and bestows transformations upon its most ardent followers. Rogue Trader may become one of his heralds. Yeah, this is heresy. This is heresy. Execute the governor on the spot. The governor's head separates from his neck with a distinctive squelch. Black and brown blood seeps into the soil beneath his corpulent body and is immediately transformed into a writhing tangle of worms that burrow deep into the ground with unnatural speed. You return to the ship pondering what to do with the world and, more importantly, what to do with the king of distortion. Order that the crew chart a course to the anomaly known as King of Distortion. Senior officers observe suspicious activity emanating from the twisted celestial body. Potential encounter with spawn of the archenemy. So it may be wise to reconsider unless you have holy relics, sacred wards, or blessed effigies of the Emperor. Aflame with a plethora of colors, the distorted celestial disc trembles slightly beyond the What? Are we good? Okay, that was weird. Looks like I disconnected for a quick second. But looks like we should be good. A flame with a plethora of color. Yeah, I know. There was a dip. Shut up, YouTube. Calm down. The distorted celestial disc trembles slightly beyond the endless windows on the captain's bridge as the Rogue Trader ship approaches its center. An otherworldly voice, cold and enveloping, enters your mind. What could this puny wretch possibly offer a king? The officers on the bridge look around perplexed. Their eyes are full of terror and confusion. Many clutch their heads and let out long howls of pain. Some empty their stomachs, but most, pale and exhausted though they are, have joined the Lord Captain in resisting the entity's influence. Command the entity to release the minds of the Amber Worlders from its grip. The king's mocking laughter rings into your ears, and a deep red trickle runs slowly from your nose and over your lips, leaving an aftertaste of salt and metal. Okay, so chat's back connected. We should all be good. Let me just double check on Kick. Okay, so Kick seems fine. All right. Order a shipwide 1,000 voice prayer service over holy relics. Yo, we traded 1 for 2. Hell yeah. Deafening gong strikes are heard across hundreds of decks. Your eyes are misted with red and your gums bleed as your subjects fall to their knees all at once in a shared prayer to the God Emperor. The holy relics from the ship's temples melt from the audio of your speech, and the entity screams and writhes inside your brain, struggling to break out. Many drop dead during the first minutes of the prayer, unable to resist the corruption. However, others immediately take their place, unfazed by the sight of their fellows turning to dust in seconds. Then a nauseating stench engulfs the ship's decks like a wave, causing people to retch forth their innards. Finally, every deck is plunged into darkness. Ghosts of the past walk among the living, stealing breath from those weak in spirit. And still the prayer is not extinguished. It's hard to tell if the prayer service has lasted several hours or several days. At some point, you feel your very essence overflow with heat and power, and then the intruding will falters. The distorted disc vanishes from the void ship's augers as if it had never been there. And at long last, everything is quiet. As everyone slowly recovers from what just happened, reports begin to come in to the captain's bridge. You've lost a third of your crew in the unequal fight, and the fortunate survivors are going to take quite some time to come around. All hail the rogue trader. Proclaim yourself the sovereign of Amberworld. Nice. Select all. From that moment, the world belonged to the road trader alone. Your people eradicated the settlement's housing and the unclean followers of the profane cult. The corruption instilled by the King of Distortion loosened its grip, and the estates of Amberworld could breathe a sigh of relief thanks to the efforts of their new ruler. Yet malicious servants of the archenemy still lurk in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to wrap the planet in a web of heresy. Evil does not simply disappear without a trace. Command tribute. Oh my god, more provisions. Oh, we also got a Extractium. Relieved to be free from the archenemy's yoke, the planet subjects gratefully send you their humble gifts. Hell yeah. And uno mas. So even more provisions, which I do not fucking need. All right, so what do we got down here?
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
Airlock is sealed. This isn't right. You distinctly remember never activating the seal on your way through. I knew I'm about to state the obvious, but I'll state it anyway. There's something off about this. Something very off. Open it. Control panel is being uncooperative. You know enough about the machine spirit behavior to conclude it is not malice is making them refuse to comply, but a higher priority order they are executing. Having difficulties here. Fly knows static is all you hear in response. Try to force the airlock open. It's not going to work, and we leave. Okay.
I rise above.
You hear a strange sound that reminds you of dripping water or the clattering of something sharp against metal. How do you get those two sounds confused? What?
No.
What are they? They're in the walls, above us, under the floor. They're scratching at my skull. They want to disembowel me, to wear my skin.
That's
I hear
terrifying.
whispers, but not from him. Something is sleeping in the darkness, or is pretending to.
Everybody's having a bad time here. Metal box was brutally forced open. Why would the ship's owners break into it if they could have certainly easily turned the key? Can I loot it? Hello? Apparently not. Hunched over the Voxcaster, the hooded man mutters monotonously but emphatically into the machine as he rocks slightly to and fro. In the light of distant stars, our emperor progenitor wanders warily. With thoughts and visions of us, he sends us particles of his light. Though his body suffers, his mind lingers on us. Let us therefore nourish him with the light of our souls, and with our prayers and with our faith. Praise the emperor. Greetings, priest. After a pause, he says, praise our progenitor. With a pale head, he throws back his hood. You see an ugly face with a flat, white nose, disproportionately large brow ridges, Irisless eyes with enormous pupils, a wide toad-like mouth, and skin that transitions to purple scales at the cheekbones. Standing before you is an abominable subhuman, a mutant. Welcome to the abode of the Nourishers. 3 sorrowful phalanges point the way to the Emperor Progenitor. I'm glad you have chosen ours. His features are strikingly similar to those of the mutant scum he destroyed on the dynastic crypt. Look closer. This being's nature has strayed too far from mankind's blessed genome. The Creed sees no humanity in deviations like these, so it commands that such creatures be exterminated without mercy. I understand this to be a trap, am I correct? Indeed, afflicted one, you have nowhere to run. The mutant shrieks, grinning. May the grace of our progenitor be upon you. His words are piercing, becoming a shrill echo of 100 voices, minds. Growing even louder, it torments your mind. And before you know it, you reach for your weapon. Just like point blank sniper shot to the skull. You hear a clanging echo growing louder in the empty modules, like hundreds of clawed limbs striking bulkheads and grabbing onto bars. Whoever's advancing upon you, there are a lot of them. You ought to run for your life before they trap you in this crammed box cabin. You dash for the Voxcaster. Command, lock. Signal's lost before you manage to say anything. They're flooding the air with their psychic whispers. There's so many of them. Let's still listen. Clanging is getting closer. It's coming from the ventilation shafts and dried up fuel ducts. The deck under your feet vibrates. They're closing in. The psychic din grows more and more distinct as the abominations rush towards you. Gotta go. Your gaze falls upon a rude-covered control panel near the Vox receiver. A green lumen burns beneath the engage airlock seal switch. The switch socket is corroded and does not immediately yield to your touch, but the lumen changes color from the blood red, and the whirring of deactivated airlocks rises up from the depths of the ship. End dialogue. Well, first off, there's loot to be had. What about this man? What do you got? Oh, wait, there's not actually much to it. The book contains the blasphemous tenets of the cult of the Nourishers of the Afflicted. It speaks of the insatiable Emperor Progenitor and his impending coming. They'll bestow miraculous unity upon all the faithful. What the hell are you? Oh, Gene Stealer. I've heard of these. Kind of. Alright, so we're gonna put Jai there. Terry, we could pull back to here, I guess. Birdman. Put you right here. Here, put you here. Abelard, we'll put you here. Bella, we will put you here. That should be everybody set up, right? Oh, Cassia. Back here.
How about no?
What? Oh, god damn it. Really? Oh, come on. I can't. God damn it. Well, it's fine.
You've got a problem. I've got a prize.
Shit, that's Cassie. Oh, I thought that was Adira because I saw the staff. Or whatever it is that she... Yeah, the staff. Fuck. Here, we're gonna do that with you. We're also gonna do this with you. Shit. She goes late, normally. Wait, I might actually still be able to make this work. Damn. Never mind. He was actually able to not just hit Abelard, but to do good damage to him as well. That sucks. Alright, well, we're gonna do shift 7, do damage. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Nice. Alright.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing.
Wait. This thing was slowed and it was still able to get that far? Alright, well, I guess it doesn't matter.
It will be done. Victory.
Hello?
Gray hair, sure hair. At your beck and call.
Alright, Cassie. Um... Excuse me?
Let's see what you can do. suggest?
I hate these are so fucking spread out. Probably should have done this first because well, I guess he's already got like, oh no, dismantling attack drops dodge as well, which doesn't actually help that much. Here, I know I've been like super quiet for that throughout basically this entire fucking fight. Capella's just like literally never going to catch up. She just doesn't have the movement points. That actually kind of sucks. Oh well. Abelard, I do believe it is time for you to do what you do best. You just absolutely fucking wreck nerds. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really talking that much there because, you know, I was focusing on the fight. But yeah, man, the fact that those things were all spread out like that kind of sucked. Especially since they were basically not a challenge at all. It was just like, well, we hit them, and then they flee. And then we hit them, and they die. And then the next one spawns, and we hit them, and they flee. And then we hit them again, and they die. And then the next one spawns, and then we hit them, and they flee. And then we hit them again, and they die. Wasn't really a whole lot to that fight, honestly. Anyway, a thick, dirty diary. Filled with entries, written in neat, precise handwriting. Its author was documenting the events of his life with thoroughness bordering on obsession. After browsing through its pages, the following entries catch your attention. Exodus, watch 1. Never thought this day would come. I'm addressed as Master Captain once more. How many times did I swear never to venture into the void again after the... void again during those 2 Terran years I spent among the mangled ruins of the unheralded Reckoning's Bridge. Unfortunately, life in a gravity well didn't bring me peace. Reverend Hieronymus promised me that performing a selfless feat of devotion would bring me serenity. Maybe he's right. But I'm still writing in this journal during the long nights to keep my sanity, just like I did for 2 years there and 7 Terran years after that here. We'll see if I'll be able to live without the somewhere that is our... Wait. We'll see if I'll be able to live without the somewhere that is our wasteland wayfarer's destination. The crew is reported hearing strange noises from the ventilation shafts for a 3rd time. Alas, I'm charged with pilgrims, not seasoned voidsmen. The venture scares them, and they've already managed to make up their share of absurd ghost stories. I asked Reverend Gravik to calm them down. He's the official head of the pilgrimage, so they ought to listen to him. The vent inspection is finished. Just as expected, there was nothing to worry about, just some torn tubing striking the hull. Reverend Hieronymus was wrong. Faith does not bring me peace. I prefer not to take any sides on the theological dispute that has broken out aboard our vessel, ignoring the debates altogether. I'll let Reverend Gravik handle it. I'm slightly concerned about this schism, but as long as both groups are peaceful and agree to follow my orders, they can bicker and shout all they want. The great day has arrived. The wasteland wayfarer successfully landed on the planet's surface. I wonder if it'll ever leave it. A settlement is already being built down the hill. Its official colonial designation is whatever the fuck, but Reverend Gravik says he's going to name it Jesseven. When we first stepped onto the surface, Reverend Gravik's congregation and the Nourishers used different airlocks to leave the vessel. Seems like they've ceased any and all communication. Today, the last pilgrims left the Wayfarer for Jesseven. I'm alone once again. They invited me to go with them. But I made up an excuse about needing to keep watch at the reactor since my ship is still used for powering the settlement. Truth be told, I just didn't want to go with them. They say less than 1,000 pilgrims are still loyal to Gravik. The services at the main temple are performed by the Nourishers, and the St. Drusus statue is cut only up to its knees. I can't understand their beliefs, but I don't think they will help me more than Reverend Hieronymus' faith. Okay. I was woken in the night by a dozen pilgrims from Jeffsevin. They were armed and scared and said the nourishers had arrested Reverend Gravik. They were bewildered and didn't know what to do, wanting me to act, so act I did. Since Reverend Gravik is the official head of the pilgrimage, I deemed this an incident of civil unrest. I kept power to Jessevin and demanded Reverend Gravik's release via Voxcom. We are holding the line. The nourishers had come with us. Gravik was with them. He was calm and said that the conflict has been resolved. He took the confused pilgrims and their guns with him, and I restored power to the settlement. I have no idea what's going on. Today I received the brotherly kiss, and now I believe. I can clearly see the spiral path among the stars set for us by the Emperor Progenitor. Now I can hear my brothers and sisters. I am finally alone no more. Well, that's fun. I'm glad he found some people. The ventilation system still works. There are strange gouges on the metal. They look like the claw marks of some beast that was trying to crawl into the shaft. That works. Replacing one melted charge with two and a whole bunch of other stuff. All right. And that's that for this place. Hell yeah. And that is that. Lord Captain, a disturbing report has come from the quarries of Vheabos VI. The convicts have lost their minds. They forget how to use tools. They huddle together and continue to stare aimlessly into space, even under the lashes of the whips, ruining the mining deadlines. Some are possessed with the urge to use their nails to scratch blasphemous symbols on tools, machines, and even their own bodies. The most mad have painted the wall of several mines from floor to ceiling with the symbols and then gone off deep into the mining tunnels. None of them could be found. The overseers consider it a ploy to divert attention away from the escapes of an impending rebellion. Oh, and an impending rebellion. Eh. Wait, what? At the start of the wearer's turn, they gain 2 times equipped armor deflection, temporary wounds. When the wearer's wounds drop to 0, they fall prone and gain 10% of their maximum wounds as temporary. The wearer becomes the priority target of adjacent enemies. While prone, if the wearer has no other allies with more than 0 wounds, they and their allies die. On the wearer's next turn, they regain 30% of their wounds if they still have temporary wounds. What? Oh, okay. I see how this works. Okay, so you go down to 0 health, right? You gain an amount of temporary wounds. If... Oh, wait. At the start of the wearer's turn, they gain temporary wounds. When the wearer's wounds drop to 0, they fall prone. Ah, okay. So you gain temporary wounds every turn. If you go down to 0, you fall prone, you don't die. You gain 10% of your max as temporary wounds. Hello, Taco. How are you? You then become the priority target for adjacent enemies. Not all enemies, adjacent enemies. If they survive an entire round under these conditions, they come back with 30% of their total wounds. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. All allies gain 7 logic. The rogue trader servants have succeeded in identifying and studying the patterns of the peculiar drawings made by the comics of Vheabos VI. Ugh. What are the symbols being scratched out by the convicts? It's hard to give these drawings any sort of intelligible definition. Unnaturally round circles connected by lines. Unnaturally round circles. The fuck do you mean by that? What does that mean? Unnaturally round circles. Circles are supposed to be round. That's what a circle is. Whatever. Connected by lines. The lines are interrupted by groups of dots. Some patterns follow a certain common logic, while others are unique. I can provide your lordship with pics of them. After examining the pic, you realize that the symbols are connected through a strange logical sequence. Okay, what is that? Okay, great. I'm glad that we got the fucking logic test. What is it? What do my advisors have to say? I'm detecting an intriguing pattern in the drawing of the symbols left by the prisoners. Hypothesis: they may have a practical purpose. Requesting clearance for the Adeptus Mechanicus to access the mines and investigate the specimens. Disappearing prisoners? What is the point of running away from penal servitude if the entire world is a prison cell? No, Shareen, these ashbags have found some sort of smuggling tunnel network and are hiding there. And the drawings are their secret language, which they use to give orders to their fellow prisoners. I know some guys who can find such secret places and decipher these languages. If the convicts continue to disappear for no reason, then unrest will soon follow, whether out of fear or hope for the possibility of escape. To stifle this, we must put pressure on the convicts' leaders. My experience suggests that such people can hold more sway than any overseer. He's not wrong. A fish rots from the head, and a prison begins to collapse because of its overseers. It is suspicious that no one has managed to get to the bottom of this problem. Lean on the senior staff to get the information we need. Someone in the prison must be exploiting the situation for their own ends. What is this again? +7 logic. I'm going to do this one. Servants of the Omnisci are hereby allowed to examine any convicts of disturbing. Yeah. There is no sacrifice more worthy than one made in the name of the quest for knowledge. Blind servants of the Omnisci interrogated the strange prisoners. The examination of their brain tissue did not reveal any mutations. Those laborers who had completely lost their utility were granted servitorization in order to maintain production levels. However, one discovery was made after all. The prisoners' drawings were too systematic. They could not be mere gibberish. The sets of repeating dashes and dots were far too similar. And if it was indeed a secret code, then judging by its complexity and the impossibility of decoding it, this language was definitely not invented by a convict. Hooray, we did it! Yay! Alright. What do we got? Oh, hey, we got chains. So this drops complacency, which I do not want to do. Reputation of the Fellowship. So we get Grenade, Profit Factor 2, Fellowship of the Void, Security +1. And this requires Security 4 or greater. What is this? Marvelous compact weapon in the form of a ring that allows the wearer to fire a scorching shot once per combat. I don't think I care about that, though. I did it again. Adamantine, Plastine, Phlogiston, Efficiency, Security down 1 again. How am I supposed to get security? Okay, there we go. Jesus. Allows gain +5 carouse and suffer -10 toxic damage. Actually really good. Complacency and Security 2 is like actually really good. All right, so let's take a look at this. That's also 2. That's if we get both of them. Okay, so let's take a cutthroat 10% crit damage. All allies gain 10% crit damage. Hmm. We're gonna start with that one. We got security 2 there. We got security 2 there. That will unlock this one. So that's the play. We do that one, this one, and then warp guides. At that point, we're gonna have 2, 4 complacency. Got 2 already, so that'd be 6 complacency. Oh wait. Oh shit! Wait, our complacency's 10. Wait. I can just do all of the things. Hooray, we did it! Our captive minds of Vheabos VI are once again in turmoil. At the depths of level empty, whatever the fuck, the overseers had discovered a mountain of mutilated bodies, seemingly crushed by the millstones of the mining machines. All the dead are convicts. The overseers believe that there is a cult of heretics operating in the ranks of prisoners, offering human sacrifices. The prisoners themselves claim that this atrocity was committed on the order of the warden to rid his prison of the more inconvenient inmates. The warden tried to reason with the raging mob, but was mauled to death instead. His defiled remains were found inside one of the cells where prisoners were being tortured during the investigation of the strange convicts. The overseers have managed to isolate the rebels inside the mining facilities, but an assault would result in high losses of workforce. On the other hand, the prisoners are ready to lay down their weapons, cease this violence, and repent if the rogue trader would only demonstrate some compassion toward their plight, possibly by reforming some of the more severe punishments. So who did kill the people found in the mines? That remains to be established. The riot has complicated the investigation. Perhaps it was the work of the warden after all, or perhaps there is a cell of the cult of the Final Dawn operating among the prisoners. But the few pics of the corpses that the overseers managed to take contain an oddity. If one were to use their imagination, they could see a certain pattern in the scattered bodies. One that is vaguely similar to the one these inconvenient prisoners have been drawing. What do you think, my officers and advisors? Terrain, if the governor and a pack of overseers cannot handle their duties, should they not take the place of their wards? And could there not be worthy administrators among those who oppose them, those who could do better? A mob of commoners mauled a noble soul who is attempting to reason with them. How awful. Perhaps the underground madness has spread among them and assumed a new form, turning them into monsters in the process. It would be cruel to kill them if this is the case. It is much more humane and well-intentioned to excise their brains in order to curb their ferocity and penchant for disobedience. My house did the same whenever the serfs rebelled in their ignorance. A rather merciful step. I don't care about the overseers, the convicts, or their problems. What bothers me is the dead bodies. Who left them? What is the important question? That is the important question. Thank you. This is like the root cause of everything that's going on. Let's just like not forget that, please. Thank you. The bodies haven't been destroyed yet, though we could conduct a certain kind of divination. The ritual is less than appetizing, but a psyker with a strong stomach could learn more about their deaths. The traces of death are like an open book to the disciple of the web. A skilled spinner could go into the mines and reveal what brought death to the convicts. Ooh. Complacency +1, which we do not need. Security -1, which would be helpful. All right, Scourge of Vheabos VI. All allies gain +3 critical hit chance. Everyone knows the ruthlessness of the rogue trader. Losing complacency and gaining inefficiency. All allies gain +3 dodge reduction against enemies. All allies gain Lore Xenos over 15% dodge. A cultist of the Bloodspun Web sacrifices sanity to deliver the prophecies of a strange enemy to the rogue trader. Thorough investigation. Also keen mind. We must understand the prisoner's cause of death and track down the culprits. To serve Vheabos VI and the Von Valentius dynasty. Upon carefully inspecting the dead bodies of the convicts, the overseers concluded that they had not been killed by a human. No known weapon could have inflicted such wounds. The bodies were demonstrated to the convicts, and the riot died down as the realization sank in that some unknown force was behind the murders. The investigation did not yield anything to help identify the party behind the murders that had sparked the riot. Level blah 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 has been sealed. Lord Captain, the astropathic choir has caught glimpses of horrifying visions coming from Vheabos VI. Something has breached the colony from underground. Soon after a new sector of deep tunnels had been put into operation, it was overrun by monsters. They lurk in the darkness, swarm in the shadows, attack quietly, leave nothing in their wake, consuming flesh, plasteel, and rockcrete. The churring of 1,000 claws heralds their approach. The desperate cries can be heard in the silence of the tunnels. Praise be to the Golden Throne. These creatures do not seem to be interested in getting to the surface. However, they have seized several active mines and are doing Emperor only knows what to them. Carapace fragment. I feel like we've gotten one of these. It gets all enemy damage dealt through the wire, but it can't occur more than 3 times per combat. Maybe not. Huh. What are those creatures? Few who have faced them have survived to tell the tale, so the information is scarce and hardly reliable. Their accounts, if you will, are a jumble of facts mixed with wild speculation. The frightened workers call these monsters a swarm because they crawl along the tunnel like a wave. They say that the enemies are vast in number and resemble insects. One of the fortunate survivors, mad from the horror, emerged from the mines holding a wrench engraved with strange markings. The pattern was exactly the same as the one the mad convicts had been etching into the walls. I think my advisors. The threat is unknown. Establishing the nature of the threat is a top priority. Collateral losses are insignificant. Requesting authorization to coordinate an offensive operation to be carried out by penal battalions in order to determine the nature of the attack. Are these Tyranids? Is this the first example of Tyranids in the game? We have to block off this threat and protect the people. To do this, we must blow up the tunnels, but to make sure that the plan works, it has to be done in areas currently occupied by this unknown enemy. I'm sure that a dozen brave souls can be found in the colony, ones willing to accept the grace of martyrdom and carry the explosives into the darkness below. We drive those monstrosities back underground and use heavy drilling machines to simulate an offensive from multiple directions. Then, we block the majority of the passages, leaving only the best defended ones open. Let's see how these miscreants enjoy being trapped. I feel like Solomon's is the best one. Let's drive the enemy back to the darkness as Solomon has proposed. We may lack the forces to exterminate the invaders, but we have quite enough to drive them back and win ourselves some time for the battles to come. The new extraction sector shook as drilling machinery toward the rock. From the depths of the mining drifts came the sound of screeching and scraping. A hideous swarm of metal-reinforced insects charged into the defenders of Vheabos VI, but the tactic worked. The enemy was vanquished, and what remained of the swarm disappeared into the planet's bowels. One could only hope and pray that enough time had been won to prepare for their next invasion. Hooray. Oh, nothing else. Oh, hey, I have 2 things that need to be dealt with over in Dargonus again. All right. A fire broke out on one of the decks, so nothing happened. Is it? An unidentified object has been located in the system. The artifact reacts to our transmissions by releasing unknown radiation, most likely of Xeno origin. The cogs are reporting. If you want to get a closer look, you need to close the distance between the vessel and the object. Got it. Stash. Deals damage with an attack of opportunity. They gain the shrouded effect. The effect does not stack. As long as the wearer has it, when becoming the target of an attack, they automatically dodge after that the shrouded effect is removed. Chain weapons deal. Reverse swords. Okay, so this chainsword is like really good. Unfortunately, it's a Eldari. Huh. All right, that's fine. I'm not entirely sure if that cloak is worthwhile or not, but we'll keep it for now. Apparently there's just not going to be anything here. That's fine. Well, we got 4 Promethium, which we have 32 Promethium. Holy shit. When did we get 32 Promethium? At first it looked like the snowy and desolate planet was devoid of surprises, but the yellow and orange flickering of the lumens and the notifications from the auger system informed the officers that there was a small colony that survived in spite of the harsh climatic conditions. All attempts to hail the colony have failed. Sent out a scouting party. The explorers report the dismal condition of the settlement and its inhabitants. Their skin is translucent and pale, their icy blue eyes see practically no color. Their language is rough and guttural, and their stomachs cannot tolerate anything except a stew made from the local roots and mosses. Yet they are subjects of the Imperium, still loyal to the Emperor. They have mistaken your people for his emissaries. Find out what happened here. The local elders woefully reminisced about times long gone. Most of them were still sheltered in their mother's wombs when snow first settled on the verdant fields. Hail ruined the crops and frost hardened the soil. Plants and large beasts that could not sustain themselves were the first to go. They were soon followed by birds and other small animals. Most people in large cities perished, unable to warm themselves and their families. They say the governor's entourage left the world in the first days of winter, taking all the provisions and fuel with them. No one responded to the pleas from this dying world. The stars remained deaf to the messages transmitted by the planet's Vox stations. These abandoned subjects of the Imperium still managed to save the machines and other valuables, yet they were of little use without a supply of promethium. And yet those... You have a supply of promethium on your planet. I mean, granted, it's on the planet. Like, if I was a small colony where I live and there was promethium in China, that wouldn't really help me, right? And yet those who survived eventually adapted to the tribulations that the God Emperor had bestowed upon them. Yeah, we could do this. Give the unfortunate people a gift of promethium and send tech priests to perform the rites of generator maintenance. It doesn't even actually give them promethium. You just lose 1 fuel, which is like one of the lowest ranking gifts that you can give one of any of the factions. Speaking of, I need to actually go back through and do that because I haven't done that in like a week and a half, I think. When the maw of the first generator belched forth a furious roar and black ash started falling from the sky instead of snow, the locals laughed and danced, trying to warm their limbs after decades of cold. They called down blessings upon their unseen savior, a rogue trader from the von Blanzius dynasty, and thanked the god emperor for their fortuitous encounter. Yo. Let's go. Spor's departure was accompanied by shouts of grateful approval, not to mention their many parting gifts. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alright, so we got the Hulk, and then we have the Xeno artifact. We saw one just like this, didn't we? Look out, bridge. We have an unknown object, dead ahead. Not an asteroid, clearly artificial in nature. But it's larger than Footfall Station. Bridge, copy that. Report to relay to officer on duty and pilots. Look out. Expect visual soon. Bridge, we have visual. What the fuck? Bridge, look out. This is the Voxmaster. I'm adding the pilot, senior officers, and the Lord Captain to this channel. His Lordship wishes to assume personal command. Lord Captain, we've requested intel on the object from the Augur Array module, awaiting their response. Called the Webway Gate. Van Calax here. What we see before us is the Webway Gate, an artifact that Xenos used to get to their source realm, so to speak. It allows Eldari to get around the sector quickly and serves as a hideout for their most unpleasant tribe, the Drukhari, whom we have already met. Oh, I didn't know the Drukhari. I thought it was a different species. I thought the Drukhari was an entirely different species to the Eldari. I thought they were 2 different species of Xenos. I didn't realize it was a subsection. Early at here, this gate is just like the one you saw on the Leviathan. The children of Assyrian wander the void through such constructs erected in ancient times. Any ship that passes through such a portal will enter a tangle of paths fathomable to none but my kin. Is there an augur report? According to available data, the object consists of an unknown material forwarded to the Imperium. We are registering an unknown class of energy profile. The engineers are at a loss about how this technology works exactly. They're basically the Dark Elves, offshoots of the same species. Gotcha. Works exactly, but they did specify that the energometry suggests that the system is holding an active charge. The object appears ready to do whatever it's designed to do. I know. I spilled. Yeah. I wasted precious gamer subs. What's the senior officer's take on this? All weapons fire on the object. Yeah, I kind of figured that this was going to happen because I feel like this is a very important story quest thing later. Do we activate the device somehow? Even though I knew the secret of this gate, I would never surrender it. Yeah, enough ministers were changing course and moving out. Yes, Lord Captain. Okay. So we can't do anything with that. But we did get our cash. Which might have a useful cloak. Other than that, where the fuck am I? There we go. Lord Captain, our Astropass received a message from Achilles Galander on Dargonus. He closely studied the data from the incursion on Vheabos VI, including the mention of the Xenos leaders. He promised to direct the efforts of his aides to identify those enemies of humanity so their location can be determined. Master Scalander is also reporting the Drukhari are getting ready for more attacks on your territory. Information from his aides continues to arrive, and Achilles will personally report to you The moment the target for the upcoming raid becomes clear, the Drukhari excel at catching their opponents off guard, and there will be little time to mount a response. According to Master Scalander, your personal participation in the defense would be the best strategy, given the circumstances. Well, duh. Lord Captain, this is Master Helmsman Ravor. The crew is grumbling again, but they've got a reason this time. Our analytic systems have gone totally bonkers. The Red Robes, the tech priests, are blaming the anger of the machine spirits. Allegedly, this is how they profess their displeasure at the crew for not being worshipful. We have largely managed to stabilize the output of the augurs and auspices across the ship, but you should know, there is something awfully sketchy about the machines these days. Well, that's fun. I can confirm, Lord Captain, the vessel's analytic systems were behaving incorrectly for a time. The cogitators could not produce statistical data and displayed meaningless numeric combinations instead. The augurs failed to correctly analyze matter and mistook solids for liquids and vice versa. Thanks to the tech priest's efforts, standard operation of the ship's mechanisms has been restored. I'm still registering sporadic reports of similar malfunctions, but we should now be able to handle them. Warp jump was a success, but the Voxbats reported the following incident. Beautiful blossoming vines had covered the deck and bulkheads on loading bay 6. Two workers had bent down to take a better look at the flowers, and the vines had devoured their faces before strangling them. Yeah, duh. Why are we trying to... It's the warp! What the fuck? I've known about it for like 2 months. Well, wait. A second. How long have I known about the warp? 30... I've been playing this game for 36 episodes. Jesus. I didn't realize that. It's 16 weeks? 4 months I've been playing this game? You know, I think we're going to fight the enemies of humanity early this time. I usually wait. I steal 8? I still have 28. I don't need... No. We're gonna fuck these people up. We're gonna fuck these people up. All right. We got these two here. The biggin. Biggin here. And these two here. No way this motherfucker lived on one. I'm so tired of these assholes living on one. Get wrecked. We're gonna just, yeah. I'm gonna do this. Oh, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna do... First off, we're going to do this. Second, we're going to jump forward. Third, we're going to do this. Wait, what? Yeah, warp channel. Then we're going to do this. Beautiful. Wait, what? Oh, because I used this. I like. Wait, what do you mean it's too far? It's literally right there. It's in the thing. Bullshit. I missed all of them? No, I took out the fucking... Okay, at least I took out the thing. Whatever. They didn't do shit to me. That's actually kind of wild. Die. Flak is so good against those. Holy shit. Nice. Get wrecked, you fucking... What's the correct slur for Eldari? Do not care about plasteel. I guess I shouldn't care about adamantium either, because I got fucking 22 of it. Xenotech? I only have... Yeah, I think I will do that, because... I only have 16 of it. Or I only have 15 of it. And that's after it, right? Charred ruins have been detected on the planet's surface. The architecture, building materials, layout, and passages betray their Xenos origin. There are currently no signs of Xeno activity on the planet, and the ruins seem to be abandoned. Run a detailed scan. The burnt husk of an Imperial shuttle has been found in the heart of the ruins. The pilot's remains are badly damaged. It would seem the shuttle smashed into the building at full speed, causing the fire that destroyed it. Sister Argenta believes the crew has found the remains of a martyr who sacrificed themselves to protect humanity from the Xenos threat. She proposes to erect a monument and hold a service in their honor. Jay is impressed by the dead pilot's bravery and believes they would have been honored to have their equipment serve new generations in the fight against Xenos and heretics. What is this? After being rammed, the enemy void ship deals 10% less damage. I never ram anything. Bella claims the pilot's fierce and fearless spirit has not departed the remains to go to the Undying One. She proposes to honor the hero and decorate the bow of the flagship with their bones so that they may continue to fight the enemies of humanity in death. Jesus. I'm curious what this actually does. I'm going to go with Jai, though, because she's my girlfriend. Rather, +5 toughness, collision damage caused by the wear is increased by 2. Oh my god, it's bad. 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 Close examination reveals a few precious archaeotech items. Unfortunately, removing them destroys the pilot's remains. White shards of bone are now scattered among the burned out ruins. That sucks. Also, two fucking... Oh, wait, no. 2 shattered worlds and Ash World the Planetoid. A vigilant member of the Augur crew has detected a small Xenos vessel searching through the void. The ship is unpowered and shows no signs of being crewed. Why can't I send out a boarding shuttle? Board of the vessel without issue. Corrosion has laid waste. The interior is full of Eldar corpses. No weapons were found on board, and the dead Xenos, judging by their clothing, were not part of any warrior caste, merely the crew of a now defunct ship. Xenos yearly claims to have recognized the symbols of the dead Eldar's clothes. They were civilian refugees from Craft World Crudorak. Okay. Hold on. Let us make our way back, I guess. Where? There. It'd be 5, so that'd put me back down to 20. Or 20. Put me back down to 20, yeah. Put me back down to 12. We might actually be leaving chapter 2 next time. Traveling through, everything went fine. Yeah, it is 8:58, so we are going to have to call it here. But not bad. Not bad at all. Why? Why did I just get 3 from here? What just happened? I'm so confused. Okay, anyway. So, we're going to call it here. Really funny that we're calling it at exactly the same spot that we started yesterday. So we've made a full circle. We've made it full circle from yesterday. We went to Dargonus. We did Dargonus stuff. We did other things. We actually accomplished quite a bit. We cleared out like fucking 6 or 7 systems today. I feel like once I get done exploring all the side stuff, like, unless the map expands, because, like, there is still the Imperium and the Maw, right? That is currently closed to us. So I'm assuming at some point we probably go there. And that's going to be, like, a whole other fucking map that we have to explore. Maybe not. Why are you laying on my phone? My alarm scared my cat more than me. He was laying on it. But yeah, so talkings. So before we go, next week, Tuesday will be the next stream. We're going to be continuing the Ditto solo run. We might be able to beat Giovanni and Koga. Might, maybe, possibly, maybe. I would just have to basically take advantage of a glitch that I forgot about. That is going to be very important for our continued success. So, yeah, Ditto run on Tuesday. Oh, let's repair the hole real quick. Ditto run on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we're going to be starting Devil May Cry 5. Getting back into the full-ish blind section of the game. I've seen some cutscenes and stuff, but I don't know anything about the gameplay. No stream on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, more Rogue Trader. Friday, probably finally leaving chapter 2. Holy shit. Can't believe it. But beyond that, so let me look at this. Let me look at the calendar real quick so that I know exactly when all this shit's going down. Because I don't think it's the next week, but it might be the... So that's next week. That's the week after. So yeah, not the week after next, but the one after that is my birthday week. I will not be working that week, but I will be trying to... well, I will be swapping my... Oh shit, I just realized I'm at 100 profit factors. I got a whole lot of shit that I can buy and stuff. I'm going to be swapping my sleep schedule that week. So streams might be a bit sporadic. I don't actually know how all that's going to work. We're basically going to be playing that week by ear. But the week after that, I start my new schedule. I will be swapping 2 days. Stream start times will be changing, and there will no longer be a hard out time. It'll just be whenever I feel like stopping, basically. So later streams, but no longer restricted streams. It all just depends on how tired I am. So yeah, that's gonna be the beginning of May. Basically, like the first full week of May is my birthday week, and then the week after that is when I swap to days. So yeah, that is the plan for the foreseeable future. If you are over on the YouTube side of things and you have not done so already, I would very much appreciate it if you would hit that likes button, hit that subscribe button if you want to get notifications on when I go live. Hit that notification bell. That will be very useful in the coming weeks when I have sporadic stream schedules. If you're over on the Kick side, hit that follow button. That is also very much appreciated. All of that stuff helps the channel quite a bit. If you would like to financially support me and the stream, over on YouTube, I do have I have links to both my Patreon and my Throne down in the description. If you're over on Kick, I do have subscriptions available as well. All that is obviously voluntary only. You don't get anything out of it. It's just if you want to help me out. All of it is appreciated, but not necessary, obviously. But yeah, regardless of any of that, thank you everybody for hanging out and watching. I appreciate y'all as always. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope you all have a good evening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.